Hello, family. I trust you're doing well. It's Pastor Derek here from the Marriage School once again, continuing with this week's series of dealing with external influences on your marriage. And today the focus is on friends. Now, one thing you have to understand is that everybody needs friends and we need friends. So it's a good thing to have friends. But how do you ensure that friends do not become a curse instead of a blessing? Okay, friends can either be a curse or a blessing. How do you ensure that you get the better deal in all your dealings with friends? Number one is to understand that no one survives alone. Everybody needs friends. Okay, so you need to have friends. You need to allow your spouse to have friends, but even more importantly, you need to have friends that belong to the marriage. Okay, so it's very, very important that you have friends that favor the cause of the marriage, who love you and your wife at the same time. Any friend who wants to be just your friend and doesn't like your wife or doesn't like your husband, you need to be careful to put them aside. Proverbs 18:24 says, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin. Okay, that is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. So when you have a friend who only wants one party or favors one party or undermines the other party, they will ruin the marriage. Number two is to choose your friends wisely and prayerfully. Let God guide you, not just everybody who is smiling. Okay, people sometimes have an agenda, and sometimes people may even come in with a good intention but change. So prayerfully choose and discern your friends all the time, because a friend may make or break your home. In Proverbs 13:20 it says, walk with the wise and you'll become wise. A companion of fools suffers harm. So if you make friends with evil people, wicked people, foolish people, they will bring down your home. Number three, have a say in your spouse's choice of friends and allow your spouse to also have a say in your choice of friends. Your friends affect the marriage, so they directly or indirectly affect your spouse, and the opposite also is true. So don't come in and say, well, this is my friend right from old school, my friend right before I met you, so you can cut off this friend. Any friend whose influence is bad for the marriage is bad for you. Okay, sometimes there's a reason why your wife or your husband is saying cut off this friend, because in your absence maybe this friend is making advances. Okay, sometimes you don't know, your wife or your husband may not want to betray everything, and they tell you, just don't let this friend come to this house again. Listen to them. Don't insist they are your friend. Okay, before you realize your home is burning. The person you thought was your friend, before you realize they are sleeping with your wife, they are sleeping with your husband, they are undermining things, stealing things, and messing things up in your home. So be very, very careful. All right, Ephesians 5:21 says, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Okay, so listen to each other when it comes to the choice of friends, or when your spouse is not comfortable with a certain friend, let them go. Choose your marriage over your friends. Number four is to be vigilant with what goes on between your spouse and their friends. Okay, things are not always as they seem. Sometimes a friend has influenced your husband or your wife and they've gone into drugs, they've gone into some sexually immoral something. That friend who is always coming around, he's organizing girls for your husband, organizing boys for your wife, and you may not even know. Sometimes that friend who you think comes out innocently, when you are out, they come into the house and do nasty stuff with your husband or do nasty stuff with your wife. So open up. The fact that they are your friends and you love them and you trust them, you see what is inside the mind and the hearts of people, you will never know. So be vigilant. Open your eyes, investigate, look beyond, listen to the comment people are passing. Don't think it's innocent. When people are saying, I'm not very comfortable with the way your husband is moving with this lady, the way your wife is moving with this guy, don't just, they are just Christians, I trust them. Listen, open your eyes, otherwise by the time you regret, it may be too late. Open your eyes. Proverbs 27:23 says, be sure to know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your head, because the crown does not abide forever. Okay, Keep an eye. Don't assume that all the friendships in your marriage are clean. No matter the level, don't assume. And number 5, be very careful with what information you divulge about yourself, about your husband, about your wife, about the marriage to friends. Okay, be careful. Know who you are telling what to. And at the end of the day, friends are still friends. They are not part of their marriage. It's not everything that goes on inside of the marriage that you share with outsiders. You may regret it later when that friend turns against you and is now releasing this information to the public or using it to blackmail you or your marriage. So be very, very careful. Proverbs 11:13 says, a gossip betrays confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. You be a trustworthy person. Don't send information to another person that your husband or your wife is not aware of. Some of you do that. You think you trust that person more than your wife, more than your husband. You are sharing things about your wife, about your husband, about your marriage to an outsider, and you think you trust them. When they turn against you, you see how painful it can be. So be very, very careful. Friends are good. Friends can be a great blessing to your marriage, but deal with them with wisdom. Don't over trust and don't over lean on friends. Your marriage comes first, and in all this, make God the center. The greatest friend your marriage can ever have is God. God bless you. Share it to bless somebody, and I'll come your way again. Send a comment. Tell us what you think. We'll respond. God bless you. Bye-bye.